Hello, 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 and welcome back to the Sprinklr Coffee Club. Thanks so much for joining us. I'm Marsha Kirkpatrick, your host here at the Sprinklr Coffee Club, and I am so excited for today's conversation. One of the most influential and customer service, commerce, and more of the book. Other Marsha, thank you so much for joining us.
That was a lot of hell.
I feel to yet familiar with your work. Folks probably the custom
2008. Yes. I correct. It was 2010. You are correct, because I did it when I started writing my book. And my idea for the book was, here we had this social media thing, and it's so amazing, and we can contact so many people. And why not move customer service to this platform? I think it would be a great idea. But I had to prove my case in the book, where I had very few cases that actually proved anything. But it worked. I mean, it brought FedEx online, brought a lot of brands online, and it made a difference. And, perhaps now theory is a little bit dated, but philosophically, what's in that book is correct. I mean, when you look at NASCAR, write about NASCAR back in my past career, the Procter & Gamble to our people. We're not marketing to them. And it was different. People segmented. And now we live in a world where our customer can come from anywhere. There's no prejudging a customer anymore, because you never know. I mean, I just heard that a group of senior citizens has started pirate radio. There's a market for microphones and headsets.
Fantastic. Well, somehow you did know, Marsha, in this case, you have really been proven correct and prescient now here, customer service and customer care through social media and online. And putting a light there. And
it's taken some circles, and it's right now, it's not its shining best. It really isn't. It was probably about 5 years ago when everybody was trying to do it. And now there are too many brands where people reach out to the brand and you get crickets. You get crickets. If you get crickets for 24 hours, if you don't get an answer after 24 hours, even 24 hours, it's a waste of time. You're hurting your brand more than.
I feel like that's happening.
The customer wants a public acknowledgement, good or bad, or you like it or you don't like it. The customer wants to. You can say, oh, that's not a good thing. And you see the same things over and over again when you respond, and those are important. You can't rewrite them every time. Over the same 3, 4 all the time.
That the customer service Twitter chat has been discussing lately?
Well, it's interesting when we do get the consumers, and that's, we have 10 questions in the customer service chat, and we have a topic. So much questions, and people answers. Yeah, that happens. Stories, which I think is incredibly valuable.
That's great. Yeah, some working out loud, and then people coming in and having real dialogue as a result.
Exactly.
Oh, the insights that must be in that 10 years of Tweetchat history are really remarkable.
Yeah, I mean, I wish we had it all, but as services die and services go, we don't have it all. But it has changed considerably. Service needs to be the direct portal for your company. It needs to be that tunnel where the customer can go. Now, even if it's tech support or if it's billing or whatever function, media team needs to be a tunnel set up each of these places. And media is so different.
To be set up, facilitate.
Immediate, because it's not always, can make the customer difference, how the customer needs. Otherwise, read them, go. Not any empathy. There's what we're going through. People need support. They look to the as a partner, and that's important to them.
Yes, putting a premium on the emotional intelligence that your team can bring to these conversations is so important.
And listening. If you're not listening, you're missing even if you're not listening, the point of listening is not just to respond. It's not just to know what your brand sentiment is, which is, of course, incredibly important. You need to know what you're responding to their customers when their customers want. Then it's not online, or we can help you. It's a business opportunity. If you're not listening to everything, you're going to miss a lot. And only through AI and kind of what Sprinklr offers can you get down to the meat of what is important.
Yeah, there's such scale to contend with that the artificial intelligence is certainly essential. Marsha, in your be most successful for companies that want to be doing that listening and making sure that they're actually extracting the value from what they're hearing? I see companies that are stages in maturation of that process, and there's so much more of it going on now than there was 10 years ago. I feel like 10 years ago we were just shouting, use social listening,
right,
and reputation. There's a wealth of insights and knowledge there, and I feel like the market has moved dramatically in that. And some brands are clearly better than others. Have you seen anything that feels particularly successful for those who would aspire to do that?
Well, it's interesting you mentioned, because the problems within expression, the differences between brands. It's really important. For example, they can, the United Airlines level of customer service need yelled at the gate. The training within the frontline and come. There's again. Yeah, so your brand, your industry line outreach. You have be, it doesn't.
That sounds fantastic. That comment and these themselves in the
Working from home is going to change everything. And we don't realize it now, but think of how when companies realize they don't have to be paying how much per square foot to keep people in their seats so they can watch them. I mean, it doesn't make sense. The commercial real estate industry is going to have a major shift. I mean, look, we work certainly at the wrong time. It's going to make a major shift. People aren't going to be using big offices. They may be having person-to-person meetings, depending on where their employees are, maybe once a week, or if they're scattered all over the country, maybe once every few months. There will be travel expenses, of course, in that, because you have to keep the cortis, the happiness, the family within your customers directed at hard. You know, there's like my cat sitting right here who, you know, keeps going here, here. So everybody has these challenges, but I think that will be more understood by the customer because it allows less stress for your employee.
Mm-hmm. How do you expect that shift will impact marketing in particular?
Marketing is a whole new game. None of the old rules are. Think of you or your family as the customer. Think of what is important to you right now. Is it important that the restaurant down the street, when you order from that restaurant, that the owner gets the money or another company gets the money? People are starting to go, well, I'm going to go to the store's website so I can make the order direct with them and pick up in the parking lot. So you see, habits are changing. How many days do they say it takes to make something a habit? This is going to force us into a whole bunch of new habits on how, as consumers, we do things, which is going to require a whole new set of rules and training for your front line to cope with these new wants and needs of the customer.
Mm-hmm. So marketing and customer care, yeah, will have to adapt to.
And the customer, um, the hospitality industry didn't think about using styrofoam containers for their food. Now maybe they're thinking, I need to have a more green way to deliver my food. I need to have something that is compostable, which, hey, Chinese food comes in those great little things, and those are wonderful, those dispose, but we've been using a lot of foam, and you have to look at the ecological aspects of all the customer feelings, because people have a lot of feelings right now. They got nothing else to do.
Mm-hmm. And what do you think the impact on all of this will be on the employee experience upstream that sets the tone for the customer experience?
That and I was thinking frozen working from home. They don't know what to get dressed. The chair, did you know recently the sales of tops, men's button-down shirts, you saw that, and they're going crazy. I mean, Brooks, all the big brands are noticing this difference in sales because everyone has that hanger near their computer where they quickly switch tops. So there's that for the employees. There's employees, you know, I'd love to go to a company because I have worked from home. I mean, I ran a multi-million-dollar business from a garage with employees and desks. So I know from which I speak. You have to prioritize. You have to get up in the morning and wash your face and brush your teeth and don't just trudge over to the coffee, because if you feel like you're trudging, you are. You need to have enthusiasm. You have to learn to build this within yourself for the work that you're doing. You also have to decide the special time for email, special time for your work with your group, your special time for whatever kind of work you're doing. And it's okay not to do anything. It's okay to take an hour aside. You don't have to be cleaning the house at every break. You are at work, but you are more flexible. Go easier on yourself. Take relaxing time. Now, I don't recommend watching TV or videos because that really distracts your mind. But go outside, look at a flower. It'll make you feel so much better. And we have to train employees now because it's a new world and we are pre-programmed into the office head mentality.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I could go on and on for hours. You have to consider bandwidth. Do the employees have the right equipment at home? And yes, I know Google is saying, well, now do all their employees have a good internet connection, right? Do all their employees have a good to think through the equipment if your workers are going to work from home? Scanner. There's so many one's home. And the equipment than renting a big office.
Mm-hmm. That's liable to be made in the long term will be on balance positive for employees and their customers?
Doesn't that depend on the person? And that is the challenge that we always have in customer experience and customer service is who we hire. Whether that person is flexible, whether that person can be trained into the method we want for our business. How is our business culture? Remember, even with people working from home, the culture rolls downhill. Everybody knows whether you care or not. And if you don't care, your people on the bottom aren't going to care. Your front line isn't going to care. And there needs to be, again, that spirit within the company. Even if they have, hey, everybody meet after 5 o'clock for beer and Zoom. Just do that, right? Have employees have a feeling of togetherness and to a single goal, which is the success of the company and the happiness of everybody they deal with. Because there's no other job but customer service where people can feel like they make somebody happy every day.
Yeah, that's inspiring, and we could use more of that in the world.
Well, we
So
need it. We need it. It's our job. It's our job to make our customers happy. And if we don't do it on this incredible media that we're using, how better can we do it? Yes, person to person is fine, but that's just one to one. When you have thousands of eyes watching you online, think of the magic that you can make for your customers and possible customers. And don't, like you said earlier, don't silo. Don't separate the, well, we have to talk to this, we have to move you email. Don't say that stuff in public. Let the customer know that you care and let the world know that you're helping your customers. And it'll make a big difference.
oh, Marsha, that's beautiful. That's fantastic. I want to wrap up our conversation for today on that note, because it's such a that's going to get me through the rest of the day and beyond. That kind of inspiration. Marsha, there are so many different ways to follow your work. We haven't mentioned the tech radio with Marsha Collier.
I have a Marsha Collier. I have a podcast that we record live every Saturday, and because we record it live, we thought of nothing more foolish than to also broadcast it live on Twitter. So at noon Pacific is the first segment, and at 12:30 Pacific is the second segment, and it's tech news and fun and up-to-date things. We do interviews, but not business interviews. It's technology to make people's lives better. And I started that pretty much as a distraction because I was so deeply into my other topics, which is the books I wrote, eBay for Dummies. So there's that whole series of for Dummies books in the eBay category that I've written. Plus, I run an eBay store because I love it. I think it's so much fun because I learn about business and online commerce, even just from that and how people react. And I have a series of books for seniors. Like grandma's on Instagram, wants to be on Instagram. I wrote Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram for seniors because nobody has time, or maybe people just don't want to be customer service. Grandparents and parents just want to learn on their own. So I do that too. So I have my fingers in the customer service chat every week. And I do a tech segment for AM radio here in Los Angeles.
Enjoy all of your content, and especially
Always
Collier.
on Twitter. Yes, please find me at Marsha Collier on Twitter. I follow back. And they're nice.
That's fantastic. Thank you so much for joining us today, Marsha. And thanks to everyone who you will connect with Marsha online, and join us again next time for the Sprinklr Coffee Club.
Thank you so much for inviting me. It was really fabulous, Marsha. We've been old friends for a long time, and I see this field just growing and burgeoning, and the world is going to need it, especially when we're at home. There's so much more we could talk about.
Agreed. Thank you. All right. Have a good day, everybody.